And it took a while, but I succeeded. I remember there was a time when I was breaking out so much in this trial and error that I was so tempted to go back to benzoyl peroxide because it would be the total solution. It worked so well before. I was like, the pimples while I am trying to find a solution. Then use something that's just going to age me like sour milk for the rest of my days. Like, I've got adult acne and I'm not going to use benzoyl peroxide for this thing. I am a woman in her late 30s. I'm 41 now. When I started this journey, I was in my late 30s. I was like, I'm a woman in my late, I'm not going out like that. No, I'm not going out like a hana. And it paid off. I listened to advice. I listened to counsel. But, right, I was frustrated. I took our advice, listened to these people speak. How do I cure acne? What is an alternative for acne? And I listened to them speak. A lot of people recommended salicylic acid. A lot of people recommended retinol. They recommended adapalene. They recommended quite a few things. Adapalene, I've used it before. It doesn't work on me. It doesn't. Right? Basically, vitamin A derivatives. So I would go to Dischem, dog, and I would look for something that has these ingredients in it, and the price ranges for these serums, retinol. I was like, I need something that I'm gonna be able to maintain buying. It has to be cheap. It has to be affordable. Let me not say cheap. Let me just say affordable. And it has to last me a long amount of time because I barely get any money, and I have to buy it above anything and everything else. That's why. When I was struggling with acne, I then even went so far as to research, okay, so what can I drink? What can I eat to deal with acne? Because I was just, oh my goodness, I've got Wi-Fi. It's fine. I've got edits that I'm supposed to be doing while I'm talking here, but it's fine. I'll get to it tomorrow. I just want to concentrate on this conversation because it's quite a lot on my mind going on that I need to get out as a well-rounded conversation. So for once, I am going to speak without editing at the same time. Be grateful that I will be backlogged. You who hate my work. Okay, anyway, yeah, I ended up then thinking maybe I should eat to clear my acne, but that didn't help. Like, it didn't. First and foremost, I was unwilling to cut sugar out altogether because I'm not trying to be all that frustrated with all that weird coffee. No. And again, I did not have enough money to actually go on a proper diet to deal with acne. And in order to eat the kind of diet that would deal with acne, there's just so much restrictions, and I don't have the luxury to have those kinds of restrictions. But that's also when I also stopped. That's also around the same time when I got, given a curiosity about foodstuffs like turmeric and what have you, right next to my fitness. So I was working out. That was not dealing with my acne. I was trying to drink a particular shake that would deal with my acne. There's one lady said that, now she started drinking fenugreek seeds and they grew her hair and cleared her skin. So I got all obsessed with fenugreek. No, nothing worked with ingestion. Like, basically eating for skin, that didn't help. It didn't. It didn't. It took time. I believe that maybe eating for skin did help, but the results took so long that I can't say that it is because of my shakes or my drinks that my skin radiated and glowed. Where it is that I saw immediate improvement in my skin condition was from topical treatments. I'm just gonna be flat out honest with you guys. There are some people who might wince at that advice on some, no, you need to first tell people to eat better, tell them to stay far away from the sugar. But I'm going through hell on earth and I can't afford to stay away from sugar. So sugar, staying away from it did not keep acne at bay. I never even stopped sugar. I just, like I said, topical treatments helped. Yeah, tap establishment thing. Very well. So, yes, in at least front, it mustn't do a strange thing. It must just hang like a homie. Like a 10, yeah. Like a 10, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just hung out like a 10 with all my junk eating. I've not been eating junk. When I stopped exercising, every ounce of food that came into my body now was trying to turn into fat. But I don't eat junk. I still don't. I eat what my family eats and it's relatively healthy, so thank you, Jesus! Anyway, whatever. I started to drink my shakes. The results, I would ultimately see them. Like I said, topical treatments rather were the ones that helped God. But when I went to Dischem, largely it's Dischem because, what do you call this joint? Clixy. There is a Clix in my hood, but largely I'm just always at Dischem, okay? Clixy, same culprit, like Papa Baya fan. Okay, yeah, Dischem and places like Clicks and what have you, and wherever else you can find skincare products. Tabuma Garnier, I know, guys. Well, yeah, South Africa, it's passing away like a fishy flapping its last outside of the ocean trying to breathe, and yet it's just not giving. That's the country. When you go to places like Clicks, and you just look at the shelves. You will need vitamin, like a nice cocktail of like actives for your face care. You will need a cocktail of actives for your face care, okay? That you not so much know that it's going to work, but in order for you to even so much as experiment as to whether or not it's going to work, you first have to buy them. And manje, you can't afford a trial and error on a product that like per piece is out here giving 250 bucks, 350 bucks, 450 rands. Like for an experiment that could fail, for something that's going to give me more acne, I need to be out here testing the market with stuff that if at all it breaks me out, I'm just going to like shove it to the side and not try it again because it's breaking me out. It's giving me more pimples than I would appreciate. It's just, yeah, I'm not gonna do that with something that cost me 450 bucks on a discount shelf and it's the only thing that I could buy for the month. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Especially considering I won't even be able to keep buying it. So if it does work, I'm gonna be celebrating it for 3 months after that. It's over. And yeah, no, we're not doing it. Okay. So I was very hurt within my bones and whatever. And there was a time when I was like, listen, I'm poor and God knows I'm poor, so maybe Cuticura will work. I'm poor and God knows I'm poor, so maybe Pond's will work. I'm poor and God knows I'm poor, so maybe I never did use Gentle Magic, but there was a time when I was on some hard knock cheap skincare. The product is a Porsche M. There was a time when I was using cheap skincare from Discam. And I was still breaking out, and yeah, go benzoyl peroxide and then leaving it, because I would realize that it's messing with my skin until I don't know what happened, but one fateful day, I don't even know how I found myself there. Like, did I just drive myself? Did I just go there, G? How did I find myself at that joint? How? Yes, I'll tell you. God knows how to. God loves a cheerful giver. Give it all you've got. He loves to hear you singing when you're in an awkward spot. Yeah, he saw the generosity I was investing in my ministry and also my pain, and so he gave back. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over by providence. My mom and I get it, that's all over these streets of Johannesburg. Hearing on my weekends, uyazula lumuntu, uyazula. Dala ngizula ngifuna something la. South Africa hangiboni say, she be zularing. So since my mom is always here on my weekend, parking at random spots, when something new, uda, back, handbrake, what's giving? Ding sang mona. That's my mom. She's always just interrogating everywhere and everything. So, Sister Zulums, that's always here. Wavulwa, a big fat China mat, go Hill Fox. And since she was down Gizuli, South African, Gifuna Ogutenga, Wapaga corner on some king and I get one of Achille, I can and my mama again, Upumanja Atengi. So, okay, go this Chinatown on some. I can go some skincare shop, some shop that is something tall in Devela. So she walked in there and then she bought Mudimu one rudder, okay, le rudder love. One gena we shop we yo kana we Chinatown yake. Ne? During the time when I was suffocating with suffering, wanting to leave benzoyl peroxide, like the way that benzoyl peroxide make you feel like I was so sick and tired of what it was doing for my face that I decided that, okay, maybe if I use the face wash and not so much the daycare, like as in the one that is a topical, that is a leave on, maybe go China. I shop, I reka the product, whatever. She just buys stuff that I see, yeah. Like there are things that I'm always just, when I scratch my mom's I'll take them because we are experimenting for 2 days and then she just throws stuff away on some. And there was this one face wash, and this face wash, I think the name of it was, the Asian community will actually like do stuff like that, like K beauty. They're obsessed with white skin, so they will put on their branding skin whitening face wash, okay? And what they ought rather say is skin lightening or dark spot reducing, because what they put in their skincare to indeed cause skin to lighten are actives that function as tyrosinase inhibitors. They lighten dark spots by essentially interacting with that enzyme that is tyrosinase. You're gonna have to go and listen to some people concerning this whole thing to get better understanding as to what that is. I'm not about to get into depth explanation because I'm not a skincare specialist or whatever. You come to learn that when they say skin whitening cream, that what they rather are saying is that there is tyrosinase inhibition in this particular thing because there was an active in here that is a tyrosinase inhibitor. A tyrosinase inhibitor like vitamin C, like kojic acid, like alpha-arbutin, like. Now, if at all you've been trained through dermatologists on the internet or whatever, that don't so much look at something that says skin whitening and run away, but rather look at the ingredients list to figure out if at all this is not a dangerous zone where they're basically giving you the kind of product that will give you the chubaba. The kind of product that's like, is it hydroxyquinone? Again, hey man, there's some hydroquinoline. Yeah, I think that's what it is actually. Whatever. Just some indeed tyrosinase inhibitor, but that needs to come through a prescription. And if used for an extended period of time without supervision by a doctor, you could actually get hyperpigmentation that is irreversible, like ochronosis, which is essentially these, if you've seen a lot of women in Africa, just these black patches over here that are irreversible. There's nothing you can do. They're just there because it's just so much damage that this product has done on their face. So if you know what to look for in skincare, something that claims to lighten skin tone, essentially deal with dark spots, right? You're not so much trying to change your complexion so that you can become a yellow bone. That would require surgery or some other different kinds of creams, right? What you are trying to do is to just remove dark spots and give yourself an even skin tone. You must read ingredients to figure out if this is what this thing is doing. Mara, you need to learn how to read ingredients. And I had learned, but I was frustrated by going to Dischem. I was frustrated by going to Clicks because where is it I found products that made some kind of sense in terms of ingredients list? I couldn't afford them. They were just, listen, out of my league, okay? So my mom goes to China. Anything making like a remake of Gangs of Instrumentals Jam. And she just bought things. And then there was this like face wash that she then put in did she even bother waking up go showering? I think it was go showering. This face wash go showering. And a face wash, the name of it was Skin Whitening Face Wash. Skin Whitening Face Wash. And my mom was like, hey, Garabo, face wash no, yeah, Skin Whitening Face Wash. And I took it, right, from when I saw it, it said Skin Whitening Face Wash, and one of its main ingredients, its like key active, was kojic acid. And when I saw kojic acid, my spirit jumped because, you know, I listened to a couple of things, and there was this one lady that said that one of the best tyrosinase inhibitors, in particular for African skin, for black skin, for people of color, is one of them was kojic acid. So I was like, whoa, okay. Somebody said, and at that stage I was suffering with acne and dark spots. I was suffering with acne and so therefore dark spots. So I was using a benzoyl peroxide face wash, and it had subsided my acne, but I was still unhappy with just the aging issue, right? Like my skin's texture was starting to look dull, like age was starting to pop on my face because I was no longer glowing youthfully like I naturally just did without even trying. Now I was going dull and I could see it, like the spunk and the glow in my eye was just going away. And I was in so much pain about that. Anyway, and I blamed benzoyl peroxide because I could just tell that that was what the issue was, even though there's quite a lot of people that claim that that's not it. I was blaming it on benzoyl peroxide, and lo and behold, as soon as I dropped benzoyl peroxide, my face came back. My face came back. It came back like the sun that rises every day. Yeah. It came back. So I don't care what dermatologists say that benzoyl peroxide doesn't age you. You just need to learn how to moisturize. As soon as I dropped that thing, listen, I came back like Lazarus. Okay? Yeah. So here it is that I find this face wash in the shower. Ne? Was it in the shower? Listen, it was somewhere. I think in the go showering. I see it when I'm out here in the shower. I see it, right? And so I grab it and I'm like, Ntwena, guy. I went and I asked, I was like, where did you buy this? Please give me it. Or please buy me one too. Because I took it as soon as I went in the shower and I read the ingredients list, and I was quite impressed with the ingredients list, given that a lot of these products that you buy from Dischem, a lot of these products that you buy at Clicks and whatnot, the actives that are spoken about, that you listen to all these beautiful, wonderful advisors on the internet about using these skincare actives in order to deal with whatever skincare issues you might have, they tend to be low-key kind of somewhere they're negligible on the list of the ingredients, and it's in the midst of so many other crazy ingredients, and you're just like, but I mean, when is the vitamin C gonna actually start working on my face over here? Or why is it mixed with this? Why is it that? I don't want this particular ingredient. What's going on? Like, yeah. Essentially, they're expensive, but they're not even meaningful. They're expensive, these products, But when you read the ingredients list, they actually suck. Like, if you've been trained how to read ingredients, you will not merely purchase something because it's expensive and it's a L'Oreal or a Garnier or a La Roche-Posay, yeah, proper, whatever that is, how you pronounce that product. You will toss it. If you know how to read ingredients, there are some gold standard, no, it's not even so much a golden standard, but they're given a seal of whatever approval products out here that will retail for a crazy amount of money. But when you read the ingredients list, it's like, based on what? It's like selling something purely because it already has backing by a brand. It's like selling a very ugly, unseemly, just utterly devastatingly, horrifically ugly shirt, but it's Gucci. It's like an ugly shirt is an ugly shirt. And I don't care if it's a Gucci. Like, it's ugly. Yeah, that's what these products are like. It's like, because they're backed by certain very trusted brands that have been around for a minute. Because it's a L'Oreal or it's a Garnier or it's a whatever. Give me one of these many mainstream brands that you can find sa skincare. Yeah, mara ingredients list ya teng. One of them is a day cream. That one time when she had hurt me, as a guilt gift, and I decided to use it because it nearly 450 rands. I'm not gonna like it broke me out. And I forced that to keep on using this thing. Because it dura the way and it claims to have firming qualities. I ended up using it as a neck cream when I moisturize my face and I do my neck massages. So as to try and slow down the process of an aging neck, I use it on my neck because I don't break out on my neck. I don't have acne on my neck, thank God. There are people who do get acne around their chest and neck area. I'm grateful that mine just kind of stays on the face. Yeah, so it broke me out on the face. And I was sad that I couldn't carry on using this 450,000 rands worth of cream because 450 rands feels like 450K in my life. Yeah, I felt bad for not being able to use this cream just in perpetuated measure. And I finished it, I did, but I used it as a neck cream. And I can't even say that it improved my neck or improved listen, I have a cheap skincare that has transformed my life. But we're gonna get into it because I'm not gonna be out here robbing you of any counsel. Though you sitting on my chest making sure I be going nowhere. I'm still here for you because I'm not gonna repay evil for evil. I'm gonna heap coals of shame on your head. Okay. So, situation. So I read the ingredients list of this product. Kojic acid that she had purchased, right? And I take it out of the shower. I believe it was in the shower when I found it, and I'm like, Ma, please buy me this thing, because it's got kojic acid in it, and I want to experiment because I've heard so kojic acid on YouTube. And she was like, hi, okay, no, complexion. She was like, I don't want something that's gonna change my skin color. I already. She was like, she doesn't want something that's, you know how there are these skin lightening creams that are to be making a dark dindy yellow, and then almost more hands didn't sisters. Yeah, black girls, we are just obsessed with changing their skin tone until they mess with their face and then end up getting that horrible like cloasma. And also in some worst case scenarios, even ochronosis. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, so my mom is like, I don't want any such issue because that chick recommended it to me. You can take it. So when my mom was like, I can take it, I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So remember at that stage, I'm using benzoyl peroxide as a face wash. I'm using the benzoyl peroxide face wash. I then, because I wash my face twice a day, right? I asked myself, so when then am I going to use, what do you call this particular face wash? I can't use face wash with the benzoyl peroxide. Because I knew that they would because benzoyl peroxide, listen, barely anything works with it, okay? So I made a decision to use the kojic acid face wash. I believe I made a decision to use it in the mornings. And then the benzoyl peroxide was the one that I decided to use in the evenings or swapped it, or I can't remember. But I basically used the one face wash one time a day and the other face wash another time a day. Okay, just so I could finish the face washes. I wasn't into waste or whatever. I wasn't about to throw away the benzoyl peroxide face wash. Yo, guys, within a week, my face was just glowing, and my acne, because I was using the I get a benzoyl peroxide was the one thing that would subside my acne, and I kept going back to it, even though there came a time when I was like, I'm never going back to benzoyl peroxide because it showed me flames. But there was a time when I was just so desperate to deal with my acne that I would go back to benzoyl peroxide. Yeah, well, my acne subsided during that season, like it completely left. But I figured it was because of the benzoyl peroxide face wash, right? But not only did my acne leave, but my face just like, yeah, I started like, it just glowed. It was like, yo, the texture. Texture. Another thing, like the remember I said that I started to notice that I was getting dull. Like my face was just dull. Like, yeah, my face was just like dragged, like a flat line, dog. Like a coma patient. It's flat. Like nothing's happening. It's a vegetable. Let's unplug the machines. That was my face. So my face was just dull, y'all. No more like glow in my spunky stick. And I mean, kind of thing I can say, I say go gym again. Okay, so I'm just dull. And then because of that kojic acid face wash during that season, I noticed my skin was actually popping and also texture. I guess my skin was dull. So it was kind of grainy as well to the touch. Like grainy, like sandpaper, like really grainy. My face was like sandpaper. Oh, y'all, I can't even, anyway, whatever. I had the sandpapery face. God have mercy on a sister soul. I had a sandpapery face, and it was just there was also dullness and different to the appearance. I was so unhappy. I was emotional every time I would look in the mirror because I was like, where's my beauty? It's going and I'm not married yet. God, you've forsaken me. Anyway, this is not vanity. This is a woman going through hell on earth, and over and above going through hell on earth, now I also gotta lose my beauty while people are aging me that I might not get anywhere in life, and now I gotta watch it happen in front of my face. Must I just sag right next to be sad? Must I? Anyway, so there I lie. There I lie in a situation. There I hang in a situation, and the next thing there I pop to gaze at it, and I'm like, oh no. I started doing that in front of the mirror. I am not lying. I was like, I started to like twirl, look left, look right, on my face. I was popping, I was glowing, like a child that has just been born. Christmas, and I'm like just twirling on the spot to show everybody my new skirt, but instead of my new skirt, dude, it's my skin. I was like, after just a week with this face wash, kojic acid, and I was like, listen, there is something that I added in my skincare that after a week of using it, I noticed a difference, and that's when I told myself that, listen, I'm trying to go and look for it myself. My mom, di tšhelete nyana mashanko nyana nkare a sa bonagaleng nkare a swabile na diskilogo a 500 rand, mara that thing the price tag was on it. It was 75 rands. Face wash thing 75 rand, and the price tag thing was still on it, ne? So I knew it was only 75 bucks, which was at that stage, listen, cheaper than than benzoyl peroxide in Nigeria. It was cheaper than the benzoyl peroxide face wash in Nigeria, which was at that stage retailing at the discount for I believe like 150 bucks. So I was like, this is cheap. Like, I did not know, however, that it contributed to my acne fading. I just thought that it was just brightening my face, like lightening dark spots and whatnot, because that's what I learned kojic acid was for. Vele. Right, so I had told myself that when it runs out, I'm gonna try and source it. I'm gonna try and find it. And so I asked my mom, after using it for a season, wait, what's a guy? Wait, guy? And she was like, Darling Kisula, Gule, South Africa, young gay, Bafuli, Chinatown, Lai, Gaita Talento, baby. So I was like, okay, also, we're in China. What's with the song though? I'm kidding, no, that was just me. My mother was like, no, Menzula, nga ploma we China, I got ploma go China, and I bought go Chinatown. So when then my product was pretty much at the end of itself, ne? Okay, you know when your skin changes and it looks so good, right? And then you stop using a product and you think that it's just gonna stay looking good. That happened. That product, like the face wash, after 2 months or something, and I carried on using the benzoyl peroxide face wash, struggling to really just get my skincare needs did. Like I remember sandpaper back after like 3 weeks. The sandpaper was back. The texture was messed up again. While acne was still at bay because of benzoyl peroxide, I was back to being dull again. So I was gone. That's when I was like, okay, listen, I had made a decision that I was gonna repurchase this product. I was gonna buy it going forward. If at all, because I liked what it did, because I I rightly concluded that it was responsible for why my face was glowing, but I took it for granted and such that hi efela product, I didn't replenish it and I expected to just stay glowing, and well, it didn't stay. I went back to sandpaper all over again. It was a desert, and I was Alice the camel with no humps, and it was not a happy time. So after that, then I asked my mom, Konje, where did you go and buy that thing? She was like, to just go. So one day I got in my car. At the time my car was functional. My car is still functional. I just need to change the battery, whatever. I got in my car one, like, thank God, it was like, I think a Saturday or Friday or something, because that lady Shopway High, Ibula Fela, got Fridays, got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, list Sunday. Other days, Itlali so I wouldn't have known. So I went on a fateful day too, which is why I say God's providence. Epic. Okay. Anyway, so herein lies the Mashiach. Okay, giving me understanding. I go there either on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. One of these days. Okay, and I arrived there by myself. My mom tells me more or less the geographic. That's why I get in that. This, you can find it. I give you advice. You can find this place the way that I found it, though you're gonna struggle the way that I struggled. I wanted the exact product that my mom had bought and didn't want it because she thought it was just gonna make her an even more hectic yellow bone. So my mom was like, I was like, where did you get this stuff? And she was like, I got it at some beauty supply shop. Go China effing. Well, what am McDonald's? And then unale food lovers market, but there's a big fat China mart. Model drive on. Got them. Unale shop where it's beauty. And a kiona fair. She was like, kiona fela. She was like, kiona fela mole. Shop where it's the cosmetics. So utlabele fela. And then batla bonta into we batlang. So I go and I get to the shop that my mother went to, right? I find it indeed. It's like a small little quaint beauty shop. First I get there and I ask, is there a small little quaint beauty shop? And they tell me, right? So I go and I find it, and when I get there I'm like, so do you guys have, if anything, because I Zola more than my mom, and I'm also so bargain hunty that I look more deeply. So I actually found 3 beauty supply stores. She said it was the only one there. That was the only one she found, but proper there were 3, and the one that is like the big boss bomb, I found it that particular day because so it's because it's hidden in such a dingy corner. Anyway, whatever. I go in there and I'm like, hi. I at that stage I threw away the, what do you call this thing, the container, so I can't even say this particular product, where can I find it, right? So I just walk into the shop and I look around. I see a couple of things. It's the kojic acid in them, but then I want that one because that's the one that really improved my life. And I asked the consultant there, I'm like, so, like, do you have a product, a face wash, yeah, kojic acid, a kojic acid face wash? And she's like, no, we don't stock that. We've never stocked kojic acid face washes here. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's the wrong store. Is there any other beauty shop in this, like, mall, right, in this joint? And then she's like, there's another one over there. Makeup, so I don't think you're gonna find a face wash over there. I don't know. They're like, I don't think you're gonna find a face wash over there. I don't know. Maybe we did sell it, but sometimes some of the things that we sell, we can't get them again because we just either change our stocking models or they don't sell it anymore, so we don't buy it anymore. Or it was not doing that well, and so therefore it gets discontinued. I don't know, but these are the only products, the kojic acid, that we have over here. So if you can't find it, I don't know. So then I ask her, okay, is there any other beauty shop that sells, like, you know, face products in this joint? And then she tells me about the one year makeup, and then she also tells me that there's also another one just down the road. You're gonna have to do that and just turn, like, go down the road. What, she gives me directions to the other one. So I then make a decision to go to first the one year makeup because I thought that maybe I can still find it, and indeed the one area makeup, all they sell is makeup. So I went in there and I just looked around and I was like, okay, listen, I'm gonna find it here. And I left, and then I ended up going to the other one where she gave me directions. She was like, there's another one that side, and I went there. So I give each other, yo dog, hey, by the time I got back home, I talked to my mom about, you're not gonna believe it. And she's like, hey, hi, go show my thing different. So I introduced my mom to the other one, the one in where I bought all these things. She, however, had only ever gotten to the other one that I don't have, the one near the colored lady. That's the one that's gonna give you, like, the one that my mom went to. Irekisa Chinatown products, like in China, like you won't find them at Diskim. You're not gonna find them. They are evidently from either Korea or China or whatever. They don't sell in the mainstream South African market. Yeah, in the same way that you would never find Dr. Rochelle products at Diskim. You're not gonna find them, right? There's certain stuff that you're only gonna find at Chinatown. Yeah. That one sold stuff like that. Godwa, the one near the colored lady, she sold products from China, from Korea, but also South African brands and South African known, or brands that we as South Africans know, though they might be international. Okay, very well. So I go in this shop, right? And when I go in there, like I said, I stayed there, guys, for maybe like not 3 hours, that's an exaggeration, maybe 2 hours. I stayed there for 2 hours and I was just out of my mind shocked at what I found. I was out of my mind shocked. Listen, remember what I said about Discam? I would be out Joko Discam seeing something that has what I need. Maria Dura. Sometimes the stuff Joko Discam had in the actives that I needed, but the stuff Joko Discam had the actives that I needed, right? True story. However, I found the ingredients list really lackluster. Like, what is the point of burying vitamin C in a cocktail of other weird stuff I don't know? What is the point? And it being like somewhere negligibly found down there on the ingredients list. So is it even really efficacious? Is it really gonna do anything for my face? Yes, this is a tested product. Yes, this is a whatever. Mara, I need something that's gonna have efficacy. Something that's gonna work, y'all. Cause hey, y'all, I got a problem on my face. I got a problem over here. I got acne, and after the acne phase, there's like these dark spots that just linger for too long. And then there's also like an issue with texture, and I'm also not that young, so anti-aging. I need proper skincare, and I can't let myself fall apart because these people that are out here poking and prodding away at me like I ain't Jack, they like to say at least me I've got shopping bags full of grocery. At least me I've got career. At least me I've got I didn't share at least. And so I need to basically be perpetuated as something that will forever be a threat to their ugly little at least. They will forever just be sitting where they're sitting, crossing their fingers, hoping that I never ever come up on this. Let them live a life of perpetual trepidation. Always just scared that I will come free. And always just scared that I will get answered prayer. Why? Because there is something about me that is just always going to slay them. And something that will always be a threat. Because if I am maintained as a threat, they may just repent out of just sheer exhaustion from trying to block what I am. At the end of the day, are we not trying to make disciples of all nations? If at all, the Lord will then use his disciple to evidence to people that this here is an everlasting protection. This here is a maintained pursuit for eternal life for people. Grace being awarded them continually. How much more convinced of the cause for Christ ought you be when that which you are trying to expire just does not die like the Duracell bunny? That which you are trying to expire just does not get eliminated. It is about the gospel message, yes, but I am not so magnanimous and such a mature, awesome person so as to it be just about you and your souls. It's also about the fact that, listen, you're not going to watch me age and writhe overnight while I just become this nothing at all to gaze at, and then you feel satisfied entirely in your gnarly, crazy bones. That I finally aged, I finally lost my beauty, I finally lost something to write home about, so now you can rest. So it's a combination of the pursuit of your souls, but also just a refusal to let you win. A refusal, like an utter. It's a sweet spot, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I needed something I needed to keep myself together, patched together with sticky tape, or rather something quite adhesive that's going to make sure that I don't fall apart or whatever. And when I walked into the store, dog, I found out that not only are we being manhandled, dismantled, and decimated by the South African market, but that it doesn't even have the best products out there. I came to learn that if at all I was never put in attrition, if I was never put in sorrow, if my life was never made to bite sana, to chew, if my life was never made to suck, Georgia, skincare. That's at the level that it's at right now. No one you'd be queuing outside even below just to get nitbits and tips from a sister girl. No, but if I had imali, mengizohlala mina ngispenda izishelete eziningi nje ezingenzi sense. Ediskem, kenze kitla ditsetoli yaka nje fela. Kadi L'Oreal tsetsa lona tse turang tse kotsi. Patching myself together with sticky tape until I went and I got some Botox, maybe a facelift. If at all I was kept in corporate South Africa, the moment my skin started to dull and I noticed that I was aging, I was probably not even gonna go and see a dermatologist because I would not have thought to see one. But I was just gonna shop around on discount aisles upon noticing the first like, what do you call it? Like when my glow was starting to fade. That's the, for me, like, you know, people, when it comes to signs of aging, they notice different things. And some women, it's noticing that their faces are a little bit droopier, or they start to notice nasolabial lines, or they start to notice fine lines and wrinkles, or they start to notice age spots, I don't know, right? Or they start to notice that their neck is, I don't know, doing whatever. They start to notice loose skin ass. I mean, the thing that I noticed first was a dulling, like just the youthful glow. That's the first thing that I like. Listen, I just went gray. Like, ain't that my face was just gray, like dull, like just bland, like brown. Yeah, I'm a brown girl, but it was just like brown. It wasn't brown. It was brown. Yeah, it was brown. Brown. It was brown. It wasn't brown. It was brown. Yeah. And I was like, I hate it. Oh goodness, what's going on? Like I'm aging. I look dull. And that was brought back like Lazarus, baby. That was brought back like Lazarus. So, hallelujah, amen. Like, hallelujah, amen. I not only noticed all these other skincare that I got discount that I couldn't afford at reduced prices, but despite the reduced prices, remember, I am on a crazy budget. My mom would give me only like 600 bucks, 500. I still was not about to go and buy retinol. Yeah, 250 rands. Hello, what I got discount, it retails for 450. Hello, what I got discount, it retails for 350. I'm still not spending 250 on retinol, because then I'm left with 250. I bought skincare that literally was in the double digits pertaining price. 25 rands, 30 bucks, 50 bucks, no more, 100, never. I would never buy any single product for 100 rands. Listen, never. There is only one product that cost 100 rand, and it was a worthwhile purchase, as I would learn. But when I bought it, it was an experiment on some the last time I will ever buy it again. Because listen, my purchasing decisions were premised around under 100 per product. Under 100 per product. Now, when it comes to the ingredients that I drink, that my shot that gives me a boost of energy every day and also improves my mood, that shot, those ingredients, I would buy them. My mom would give me 500 to 600 rands. I would buy them on 1 month, and then they would last me 2 to 2.5 months. And then my face care also, buy it the next month, and it will last me 2 to 2.5 to 3 months. So therefore, in alternating months, I would either go to Discam to buy the things that I use for my shake, or all the way to China to buy face care. There was never a time when I would have to buy both face care and my ingredients at the same time, because I wouldn't be able to afford them both. So when I say that each product would have to cost me less than 100 rands, I would only need to get about 5 products valid. That's 500 rands gone. I would, and similarly too, however, at Discam, the food stuff that I would get, the things for my drinks, those did not necessarily have to be under 100 bucks or whatever. I knew what exactly I'm getting, but they were also based on price sensitivity, in the sense that there are certain kinds of ingredients that I wanted that I just couldn't get because they're too expensive. And as the years progressed, they got even more expensive, and they stopped sort of kind of making it in my ingredients list, and I was kind of bummed by that. So on this particular month, I was purchasing on this particular month, I was buying face care, I was buying skincare. And I had gone to China, indeed, in particular, to go and find that kojic acid face wash. I then find myself in the store after that chick at the other store gave me the, what you call this? After the chick at the other store gave me the directions to some other beauty shop. I go in there and I'm like, whoa. And I find all these products at the discount. And initially I'm thinking, oh my goodness, they're so marked down in comparison to the discount products. But at the same time, I'm also thinking, this particular retinol product, yeah, dura, it's expensive here still. Because I kid you not, like, these products are to be retailing for 450 bucks, 350 rands, 200, like, at discount. And then at this place, it's like half price, maybe 60% of the price, right? So I still couldn't afford it. That's when I had to, like, see if I can't find something else. And that's when I found K-Beauty. That's where I found Chinese skincare. That's where I found alternatives. That's where I found it was not just Chinese or even Korean, but just not Middle Eastern, but what I want to say, like Indian, Pakistan, like skincare from other parts of the world that South African retailers are happy to out here sell for people to experiment. And yo guys, I mean, I'm sure in the South African market, you cannot sell something here unless you let people know what they're buying. So ingredients lists are important. You can't lie, you can't misinform, you can't miscommunicate. And at that store. At this stage, I had already stopped using benzoyl peroxide. Listen, I got to a point where I stopped using benzoyl peroxide at all. So when I got, because I was just determined to stop, okay? By the time I got to, because I can remember I ended up using my cuticura or my whatnot and they were not working for me. I had stopped benzoyl peroxide, but I found it. Benzoyl peroxide, yeah, Benzac, yeah, Galderma. I found it at that store for, listen, at Dischem, that stuff retails the small little, how many grams of it? For 100 and almost 200 rands. 180 something bucks. For 75 rands. 75 rands. But I don't use it anymore. However, for a pimply teen, that place is just a haven. It's a haven. 75 bucks. Do you understand? And when I saw it, I was like, wow, they've got Benzac here. In my early days of acne, I would have just been besotted with this place. Mara, I was no longer using Benzac, okay? I was no longer using Benzac. And not only that, listen, benzoyl peroxide, I ended up having to need higher concentrations of it. I went from 5%, and then my sister once brought this benzoyl peroxide product from overseas that had 10% benzoyl peroxide in it. I used it, and after using that 10% benzoyl peroxide product, and I tried to go back to 5%, my skin just continued to have these small little bouts of acne, and I was very upset by that. And I realized that I needed a 10% benzoyl peroxide, but couldn't find it. I couldn't find 10% benzoyl peroxide until I finally found it in, there's another product in this country that sells it for 10%, but it was too harsh. I forgot which one. I forgot. And I think that it was Oxy. Yeah, Oxy has 10% benzoyl peroxide. Oxy. So Galderma had 5%. Oxy had a 10% and a 5%. I ended up using 10% Oxy, but it was just too harsh. Like, listen, benzoyl peroxide was just much too harsh for my aging face. It was much too catastrophic. Anyway, whatever. Okay, fan in, it's cold now. I want to turn it off, and I don't think it's so hot anymore that I need to keep a fan going. Only when the sun rises will I switch this fan back on again. Because now it's just freezing the living daylights out of me. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. Can you tell that there's a change in temperature, eh? Of course not. No, Mara, can you tell that there's a change in sound? No, probably not, because of volume adjustment, taking away funny little noises in the back end. Anyway, whatever. I then made a decision. So yeah, I walked away from benzoyl peroxide, but I did find it there. I found also other products there, but then I ended up shopping for actives. I never found the face wash LA that my mom had bought. I never ever found that. Like, still to this day, like, I don't know, it just whoop, disappeared into the like pipelines or whatever. If it's but what I did find were other alternatives. I did. And in that store, because of the heavy, crazy, ridiculous budget that I was on, I had to forget about all these other very expensive products that are much cheaper from Dischem. So those are your banang there. By all means, you can spend your tens of thousands of rands for the product things like what Dischem that are much cheaper there. But frankly, oh, my poor cat. I had to open for my cat. Because of this fan, I hope I didn't ignore my cat scratching and scratching and scratching. I really hope because it's like 6 minutes past 2 a.m. in the morning. But it is also quite hot out, so cats enjoy the outside, if at all it is a very cool, hot summer, which it presently is, so. Have I just been partaking in animal cruelty? Did I just do it? Oh Lord! Have mercy on thine uneasy soul for the cruelty on the animal. No, but I don't think I was cruel to the animal. I think you was cruel to the animal. I don't believe it. Anyway, whatever. Listen, I know my stories are long-winding, but I get there finally, okay? So I finally get to... I then make a decision that I'm going to purchase new products, right? I'm going to see what I get. I'm still on trial and error. I'm still struggling with acne. My face, sometimes I recover, sometimes I don't. I'm just in this crazy trial and error. I also come from an era where I was DIY face masking, like doing the face mask. It's based on advice on YouTube. Nothing ever really worked to a point of it's just kind of sticking. So now I'm in this skincare store and I'm shocked at the prices and I'm like, whoa, celebrate good times, but I still can't afford them. Let me buy the El Cheapo alternatives. Let's see. Mara, what made me purchase those El Cheapo alternatives? I had been trained as to what to look out for, what to buy. And I was shocked at just the concentration of vitamin C, of niacinamide, of retinol, of hyaluronic acid that you would find in these products and for the prices that they came at. So vitamin C, if it's going to be any kind of reasonably efficacious, has to be at a minimum of 10%. in a product. Many of these products that you find at Dischem, that you find at at Clicks, their vitamin C percentage is not even at 10%. It's like hovering, just even based on where it is that you find it on the ingredients list, it's like maybe about 3-4%. So it's not even all that intense, all that efficacious. It functions more like if you were to make your own vitamin C serum at home using orange peel, and it denatures and degenerates over a couple of days and you have to just keep remaking it. It has that level of efficacy, except it has been preserved by, I guess, preservatives. I was not pedantic about things like paraben free or sulfate free, or like either whatever, because I'm poor, and in so not being pedantic about such things as those, I found myself getting some pretty good skincare because of essentially being broke like a lake. I did not have the luxury of getting everything really truly that I wanted. I just went with what I got, but I was pleasantly surprised by the percentage of retinol that they were willing to sell, the percentage of niacinamide. Retinol, the ones that you will find out there in the market, will be in the decimal percentages, like maybe 0.5 or 0.2, 0.3% retinol. But any like decent dermatologist will let you know that if you want retinol to really be effective, especially if you've been using it for an extended period of time, if you have already gotten used to a kind of retinol, you're best off moving over to like 1%. And if you can handle it, can you handle the retinol? You can't handle the retinol, cause it's the truth. Can you handle the truth? Anyway, my man, the truth is not retinol, the truth is Jesus. Anyway, yeah, if you can handle it, then move over to like 2%, okay? Things like hyaluronic acid can be at percentages like 15%. So if you've only got like, no, not 15, did I just say 15? Did I say 15? I think I did. No, I think the one that can be at 15% is niacinamide. Yeah, you would need to go and do your research type establishment thing, but you would find like just these abysmal percentages of these actives, right, in these skincares. Indeed, as they are represented so much lower down in the ingredients list. And while for somebody that is sort of kind of entry level and experimenting with this skincare might be benefited by it, skin has this thing that it does. It's like light, it's like eyes. After getting inside light, they tolerate the light, and then ultimately you're able to just see properly again. Your skin will adjust to certain concentrations of skincare and so stop being efficacious. So essentially you're better off just moving to stronger and stronger potencies, but of course there is only so much of a height of a potency that you can get out of skincare. So therefore, if you can get the best percentages as they are recommended for skin that's like a ngagara and a guru that's already used to these actives, if you can get the highest percentage for that particular active, of course layering it in a way that is healthy, that makes all different kinds of sense, you're gonna have the perfect skincare for a woman your age and a woman that's continuing to age, and so not need things like, listen, aging will happen everywhere where you go. Topical skincare only ascertains the texture and the quality of your outward skin. It only preserves the quality and the texture of your skin as it is losing the collagen and as just the muscle tissue is starting to relax and you are aging, and so stuff will droop, stuff will fall, but the quality of the skin that is drooping and falling makes all the difference between aging gloriously and not looking tired all the day long, not looking kind of crazy, versus looking dewy even though you're an older looking, you're an older lady, but you're so dewy, your skin is just so dewy, it's like just glowing. Do you know what I'm saying? If at all you want to eradicate things like the drooping of skin and just the complete erasure of fine lines and wrinkles, I mean, you're gonna have to go under the knife for that, which I'm not here for. I am here for just maintaining like a youthful glow. I do face exercises, I also do neck exercises so as to delay the inevitability of whatever it is that happens to the neck as you age, whatever it is that happens to the face as you age. I would never, I don't believe I'd ever go, and listen, I can't say never, but I don't believe I would ever go under the knife to eradicate things like aging, because I'm just too Christian for that. I understand that we have eternal life and that aging happens. It's a natural process, like just let it be. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when you get older, the sadness that you might feel about losing your beauty ought to be supplemented by the future glory that you stand to gain. Okay, you're gonna one day be young forever. So just listen, maintain, upkeep whatever it is that God has given you. Eat right, eat healthy, work out, keep yourself, basically age gracefully. Okay, take care of yourself and allow yourself to age gracefully. But I do pick bones with just being left to age with nothing to my name. But in that I find comfort because God is the one that's going to grant me breakthrough. God, no one but God. And he knows when he's then going, he's the one that's in control of the droop. He's the one that is in control of the fall, of the plummet, the plunge, of the deep wrinkles, and he's the one that can stay them from ever coming on my face before I am in a space to receive them with gladness, because right now I would be petrified by just excessive aging if it happened to me overnight, because I haven't gotten married, I haven't had children, I haven't done anything, I've got nothing to show for that. So perhaps that's why he's preserved me so much, but also the preservation comes in my genetics. One, I'm black. Secondly, my mom just don't crack herself, so it's gonna be a minute before I look some kind of way. Mara, like I said, I did notice the first signs of aging in that I was a brown girl and I just went brown. Yeah, I was stopped glowing. I stopped having that youthful thing, and I was able to resuscitate it back through these products. Okay, yeah, type establishment thing. I noticed that there were decent percentages of actives in products that were retailing, listen, for $40, $50. It was too good to be true. This is South Africa.